Please welcome up contestant number 10. Dennis Carney, First Love, Dennis Carney.
They say, never forget the first true love. You never forget the moment you realize you were in love. I know that's true for me. I can remember it as though it were just yesterday, even though it was that first warm, sunny spring day, April 1959. I even remember the first time I saw her. She was standing on the corner of Huff and Sargent, my old hometown. I immediately gave her a nickname. I called her the Gray Goose. She was a 1934 Chevrolet. Mr. Toastmaster, Toastmasters, yes. I brought her home to live with me that very same day. I paid $15 for the right to call her mine. I know you're thinking for $15 she couldn't have been much. Hey, you're probably right. Well, she did run fairly well. She had several what I like to call unique characteristics. First of all is the fact that she had no windows. Well, technically she had windows, just that there was no glass in any of them. But this wasn't a bigger problem as you might think, because first of all, the exhaust system ended right underneath the passenger seat. So anytime you're underway, the exhaust fumes just came oozing up through the floorboards. Or where the floorboards would be if they were the only thing between the passenger and the roadway/exhaust system is a series of rubber mats covered over by that orange, foam-back, long-haired shag carpet that was so popular back then. So you couple that with the fact that the car overheated constantly and the heat just came rolling out underneath that dashboard. Nobody ever really wanted to close a window up anyway. Another unique characteristic was the braking system, or lack thereof. See, a 34 Chevrolet has the old-fashioned mechanical brakes. One feature of those brakes, if they don't work on one wheel, it doesn't affect the other three wheels. Or in the case of the Gray Goose, the fact that it didn't work on three wheels, it didn't affect the one wheel that didn't have brakes. That's right, the only wheel that had any brakes at all was the right front wheel. Which meant as you travel along, you better have a firm grip on that steering wheel, because if you step on the brake pedal, you're immediately going to want to make a sharp right-hand turn. Another unique thing about I lost my place. Yeah. As I said, there are many unique characteristics about this car. I mentioned the overheating briefly. Actually, the Gray Goose had a range of about 4 miles before she boiled over. Now, this made having a social life rather difficult. Because, well, let's face it, the Gray Goose wasn't exactly a chick magnet to begin with. If I did happen to have a day that she lived, say, halfway across town, I had to leave my house about 2 hours before I was supposed to pick her up. Drive within a half a block of her house, and you're down the corner, so she wouldn't see me. You sit there for the remainder of that 2 hours and let the engine cool down. And we might have a fairly good chance of making it to our destination that night. Nancy, who became the love of my life early that spring, finally agreed to go out with me one time. I was running late that day and didn't have the luxury of that cool down period. So they arrived in front of her house, accompanied by my usual plume of blue exhaust smoke and the pungent aroma of burning shag carpeting. I suffered the further indignity of having my radiator erupt all over my soon-to-be ex-girlfriend's father's newly poured concrete driveway.